In this edition of Aston1936.com, I'm going to be showing you how to remove the PCV vacuum harness assembly from your engine. It's probably because you're trying to service your PCV valves. Now, if you've been to the blog and you've seen the write-up on this, you'll know that I didn't get to shoot the video footage when I was actually servicing my car. But I was recently pleasantly surprised that one of the avid readers of the site, Mike Potts, was doing the work on his 2006 DB9, Aston 2209 as he describes it, and he decided, since he was doing the work anyways, and he was willing to actually shoot the video. So the rest of this video is actually going to be done by Mike. Here's a picture of Mike working on his car right now. Stay tuned in, and here is guest presenter Mike Potts showing you how to remove the PCV vacuum harness assembly.
Right, so what I'm going to try and do here is look at the replacement of the closed circuit breathing system non-return valves, which Steve didn't manage to get a video of, and quite understand the reluctance to going in there and trying to rip his engine apart just to make a video of this. So I thought, while I've just got to the end of changing the plugs and coil packs, I've got oil on both of the intake manifolds, so I'm going to take the opportunity to do the job. I've had a bit of a route around to see what's involved, and whilst it's tight, I think it's certainly doable. So here goes. First of all, my light so it won't fall over. Right, first of all, what I'm doing is I'm going to move the water pipe way out the way, the return from the thermostat housing. Fortunately, it's reasonably flexible and will move. And then I'm going to move the fuel rail with it as best I can. I think you'll see now, if I go in a bit closer, that this is the pipes we've got to get out. You can just about make out that bit of Y branch in white where the pipes come together to go into the tank, which is down there, and then we have to go, the pipe goes over the top. Can't get the camera down low enough there. Right, yeah, there we go. The pipe comes over the top, which is this one in the background here. This is part of what will come with it, and you can see there the tag that Steve refers to that we've got to cut, which is reasonably get-atable, and then the pipe that comes off it, the main pipe, is the big black one you can see me touching now. It comes across the back, and then this is the one coming down here, and it joins onto this Y piece of stainless steel tubing, and this is the band clamp that Steve shows being cut on his blog. So first of all, I think, let's just have a look. If I move this other pipe out the way over to that side as well, fuel rail needs to come this way. I'm going to have to take the pipe with it this way as well. Right, so just below the clip that we've got to cut, which is this one, that's one of the non-return valves we've got to get out, and the other one is down there just on the end of that blue tape. So right, I'm going to have a go now and see if I can cut the clip here, this one, and also the one that Steve has identified as well, which is quite right. Shows it's never been done since it left the factory, I'm guessing, because it's still threaded through the clip that's just above the non-return valve. So I'll do a little bit of work and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm not going to pull any punches with this one. Boy, that clip is something else. I'll show you a close-up. You can see it's been a bit of a brutal exercise. You can see here I've been at it with the side cutters. I even had a little go at it with a hacksaw, see if I could cut across it diagonally. Boy, was it tight. And I was really getting nowhere. I've been at it half an hour. So I decided, like you do sometimes, just take a step back and let's have a look at this other clip next to it. And you look at this clip here. There's an edge there where the end of the clip is, and it's folded over with a little bit of a tab. So I could just make out down the side there the end of that tab on this clip. So I reckoned if I could push that back, the clip might come loose. And what I used in the end is the tools I've been playing with, and this was this joker, which is something I use normally when I'm decorating, just pulling nails out of the wall, but it's pretty strong. And I managed to get it in this position here, and I was able to get onto the end of the clip and just managed to, by using a little bit of the cam cover, I was able to sort of push in like that, and it clipped, eventually clipped off that little edge. And as I say, half an hour of heartache, blood, sweat and tears, and comments for after 9 o'clock, after the watershed. I think we might have it. Well, it's still not fully released, it's still hanging on, but at least now it's loose. And when I've got the hose off, I'll just get it out and we'll put a good old Jubilee clip back on that when we put it back together. Okay, so hopefully when you come to do it, if you come to do it, see if you can get on the end of that bit of band clamp there. If you can flick that off, you'll save yourself a lot of heartache. Come back to you in a minute when I've managed to get that hose off the end of the pipe. Okay, back again. You can see down there now, if you just look at the end of the oil separator, I've now managed to release the hose, which simply pulls off, Steve, doesn't it? Except it's, anyway, it's glued on. Yeah, it's glued on, so it just needs a little bit of persuasion to get it moving. But you can see how far I've got, but we can't go any further now until we release the clip, the yellow band there, because I need to sort of hinge it up to get a bit more length to be able to pull it completely off the oil separator. So now I'll snip through the magic tie wrap and see about getting it off the end of the oil separator. Okay, by a bit of primitive engineering, I've managed to wedge the camera. Sort of wedged it. We'll see how it goes, so I can work a bit freer without having to hold it. So, right, we can now get off the hose that's on the oil separator, which now becomes very free. And by the way, when you take off the clip, you get a whole new degree of freedom with the fuel rails to help. And this is going to go over the top of the fuel rail, looking in there when it comes out. And this one comes below this fuel rail. So we're starting to get somewhere now. So you can see that will come out of there, no problem. Let's try that again. Primitive engineering failed. But we are still recording. So, right, this one you can see now is free. That'll come out of there, no problem. Try and wedge that where it won't knock the camera over this time. Put it back there for now. And I have now got this one loose as well, from the clip that I struggled with for so long. And now we have to somehow work everything out this way. So there's the other part of it, now in a place where we can get it out. And I think the fuel rail is now going to have to go over the other side. Yeah, that's not easy still yet. So there's the right, that's that part of that. But it goes, it has to go behind the wiring of the fuel rail. Thank you, Aston Martin. Maybe I can just get it down there. In there. I'll tell you what, if I cut that tie wrap there.
So just a tip that when Mike was showing, he crossed over all the fuel rails to the center, and he had a hard time getting this line, this horizontal vacuum line, back out because it was kind of trapped with all the fuel rails. He had to cut a second tie wrap. You don't need to do that. I think if you can reach in, you just want to get this hose, keep the fuel rails off to the right, and you're going to get your hand in here, and you're just going to work really hard, and you're going to pull this vacuum hose through this way and forward. So you're going to try and pull it across horizontally, and it's kind of hard, but you know, you'll just kind of do it like that, and it'll be banging along the cowl. But if it comes straight across, it doesn't have to, you don't have to cut any of the electrical zip ties or anything like that. The only zip tie you'll be cutting is that very first one that Mike already showed you, the sort of discolored yellowy beige one. So anyways, just reach your hand in there, try your best, pull it across sideways and pull it out.
That will certainly help. Just remember to put it back on again afterwards. Bane of my life for these things now. There we go. So, what I've had to do, I'm hoping I'm not blocking the camera too much, but what I've had to do is move one of these, which is fastened to the fuel rail, and that will allow me to pass that bit of pipe through there, through the wiring. So now everything, when I bring this fuel rail back across here, boy what a mess. There we go. I hope you're all keeping up, because we'll be asking questions later. So, where are we now? Okay, that one's there. The one that had the awkward clip on is there. So we're pretty much nearly there. It's catching round the head there. Okay. Wow. And there you go. Nearly. And in the famous words of the guru, ta-da! So, here it is. Wow. Now, that's one in there. And that's the other one there. Get them both in the same shot. There you go. I won't say it was pretty, but we got there. Now what I'm going to do is, to make sure all this goes back right, because the alignment of and the orientation of the hoses are going to be fairly critical, I'm going to put a mark down here and onto here, and one down here and onto here in pen, so that I can line it up again when I put the whole thing back together. So at least we start, hopefully, with an orientation that reflects pretty much what we've got now. So that's it out. Changing it over, I think, is fairly easy, I hope. Let's just get the bits. This is what I got. To replace it. Then you turn it over. There's the little animal we want. As Steve says, the rest of these go in the bin. So that's the Joker. Two of them I've got. That one obviously looks like it will go there quite nicely. So I'll get on with it.
So now that you've seen Mike get the PCV vacuum harness assembly out of his car, you're going to need to see how to replace the actual PCV valve in the assembly. So that's in the next video coming up, so stay tuned. Please check out Aston 1936 website. Of course, has all the details, the step-by-step procedure that I laid out. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and if you have something to say, please leave a comment in the section down below. Thanks for watching.